Socialists are strange. They go to protests, which they film on their iPhones, thanks capitalism. They call for the overthrow of Australia, thanks freedom of speech, and rage about how horrible Australia is, even though thousands have sought refuge here fleeing socialism and millions have moved here for a better life. But anyway, on Friday, I went back to my alma mater, Sydney University, to check out the Socialist convention and try to get some answers. This is how it went. Do you want to have a chat about socialism?
No, thanks.
No? Why are you here today?
She's from Sky News. I wouldn't engage.
Does anybody want to talk? Have you come to this conference to not talk about socialism? Because I'm trying to talk to anyone, but no one's down for a chat.
It's a shame. Don't really feel like it.
You know, it actually felt a lot like true socialism because there was no freedom of speech and no one would dare talk to me because I wasn't from approved media. While they couldn't give me any answers, I'm hoping my next guest might. Each week, I'll be taking on someone with opposing views. We want to break out of the echo chamber and have some real heated debate. So joining me tonight is Jordan van der Lam, Senate candidate for the Victorian Socialist Party. Thank you so much for joining me, Jordan. It's nice to be with you this evening. Jordan, you make videos about bad rental properties, things like kitchens being unfinished or bathrooms in poor conditions, even apartments in people's garages. But isn't that just the free market at work? No one is forcing anyone to rent these properties.
Yeah, it's the free market at work, which is why it needs to be destroyed.
Right. So if you eliminated private rental properties, how would anyone rent at all?
Well, those properties wouldn't go anywhere. They wouldn't just disappear. We could just live in them. That's how it should work.
But how would you have any pricing mechanism? Because I would love to go live in a $10 million house in Toorak or the eastern suburbs, but that's just not possible. You have to have some sort of market to arrange things.
No, you don't. You just absolutely don't. Like, that's the least efficient way to arrange things. It's the least efficient distributor of need. I think, yeah, it's pretty clear that, you know, your main concern is how would people make profit instead of why would, like, it's a way to stop 10,000 people experiencing homelessness every month in Australia. Like, yeah, we just don't need markets for human need.
But markets are an efficient way of distributing things. Yes, they are.
How are they? If a market's an efficient way of distributing something, then why do we have more than 100,000 empty properties in the Melbourne metropolitan area alone, while we have less than 30,000 people approximately in the entire state of Victoria experiencing homelessness? Why do we have, you know, Coles and Woolies throw away tons and tons of food every day while hunger levels in Australia are increasing faster than we've ever had on record? Like, that's just not correct. That's wrong.
Well, what would be the incentive for anyone to build? Because I accept there are vacant properties, but there are a number of reasons for that. If you're moving between homes, a property might be vacant for a period of time. If it's on the market, if it's waiting for someone to rent it out, there are plenty of reasons for vacant properties. But the fundamental drivers of the housing market are supply and demand. Currently in Australia, we have constricted supply because we have an unproductive construction industry. There's a lot of red tape and government regulations.
Yeah, too many bureaucrats in construction, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we can agree on that. That's a good thing. So I would say you slash that, slash red tape.
Yes,
and then
slash the bosses in construction and let us build stuff. Absolutely. Let the workers earn more for the work that they're doing and get rid of the bosses. 100%.
So who would be building stuff then?
Workers.
But
workers build stuff. Who builds stuff now?
Well, workers need to be managed by businesses.
Like, a planned economy is the way to do stuff. That's just how it should work.
When has a planned economy ever worked?
Plenty of times. Plenty of times.
Give me an example.
Anytime that we get anywhere close to building a planned economy, capitalism and the market spends billions and billions of dollars mobilizing forces to destroy it.
But I would say red tape, which we've both agreed is an issue, the over-regulation of the construction industry, that is an example. I don't think it's the over-regulation. That's an example of the planned economy.
I don't agree with that. It's not the over-regulation of the construction industry. It's the over-representation of bureaucrats. in the construction industry, bureaucrats as well as bosses. Get rid of the bosses, get rid of the bureaucrats, and like the regulations that exist are so that houses don't fall down and so that people don't die. Those regulations are important. I want to live in a building that's not going to fall on me, like the mascot towers and stuff like that. I want to live in a building that is nice, good quality, beautiful, accessible, like something that's not going to kill me because of black mold, because of poor construction. But I don't want to live in a building that I can't afford.
But the bureaucrats that are in the construction industry have increased in direct proportion with the regulation and red tape that's been put on the construction industry.
I mean, sure, yeah, there's a way that you can argue that, but like that's not the reason that bureaucrats and bosses increase. They increase because they can profit more. That's the direct correlation, the more direct correlation.
But that doesn't really make sense, because if you're a construction firm and your motivation is to make profit, why would you be employing unproductive bureaucrats to sit there and paper shuffle when you could be employing more workers who could build more stuff and make you more money?
They're the bureaucrats. The bosses are the bureaucrats.
But without the bosses, nothing gets built.
That's not correct. That's just not correct.
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. But anyway, let's move.
The Opera House, the Sydney Opera House was completed under workers' control. Like no bosses. They literally kicked the bosses offside.
Again, you are yet to give an example of any country in the world where socialism has actually worked.
There's an example.
Maybe you could do it for one building, but it couldn't work for the entire economy at all.